Hey, good morning, everyone. Today, I would like to talk about an introduction to integers. I will say that this is probably one of my favorite things to teach, especially with seventh grade, because we're really starting to separate from elementary school type of math. Usually, up until middle school, kids are taught that numbers only exist to the right of zero. This is a great lesson because we start talking about how numbers do exist on the negative side, on the left of zero. And some of the things I want to do is we'll talk about absolute value as well. And I would like to discuss some of the words or vocab that is associated with negative and positive numbers, especially when speaking of financial literacy types of things. So I hope that you enjoy it. I hope it's helpful for you. Please be sure to subscribe below and leave a comment if there's anything you would like me to do further on with this type of topic. All right, so what I like to do here is I'm going to show you a worksheet that I use with my students, and I have them, it's usually mixed up, and then I have them categorize whether each scenario is a positive, negative, or zero result. All right, so I also tell the kids that zero, the number zero, is neither positive or negative. I'm a big hockey fan, so I always tell them that think of it as the team being at neutral ice. They're neither in their attack zone or their own zone, or at the line of scrimmage if you're thinking football. All right, so let's look at our positive situations. I'm just going to put a plus with it. All right, so broke even. Well, actually, what we're going to do is we'll go through each one and then we'll decide whether it's positive, negative, or zero. So broke even, that would be zero. So you're not gaining or losing anything. 321 feet below. Below is the key word to indicate that it's negative. You're behind 7 points, so that's going to indicate that it's negative. A tie score would mean that no one's winning, so it's zero. 9 seconds ago, well, that would indicate that it's negative, going back in time. 23 degrees below zero, it's another one that indicates that it's negative. Gain 10 pounds, so that's plus, that will be added on to your current weight. 2 below par. Now, par is something that the kids have a bit of an issue with if they haven't played golf, so that's something that, you have to kind of relate to them. 3 above par would be a plus, and then par, it means it's exactly at zero. No weight change, that would be zero. A loss of 15 pounds would be negative. 90 degrees, well, since that's above zero, that's actually going to be a plus. 0 degrees obviously would be zero. Now, in terms of time, that's right now, so it's zero. All right, transaction. So that's talking about a financial literacy piece, which some kids may not understand depending on their age. So no transaction means that you're not putting any money in or taking any money out of your account. So that's going to be a zero. Deposit, another word that you have to go over with the students is it's a plus. You're putting money into your account. 45 seconds from now means it's ahead of time. Ahead 4 points. Withdrawal, this is a big one. Withdrawal versus deposit. So kids think withdrawal, oh, it's money in my pocket, but from the bank end, it means it's being taken away. At sea level is zero. 520 feet above sea level is a plus. Loss of $1 million means it's gone. Profit, another word that kids may have issues with, means that it's being added to your account. All right, here's an example of a problem where they're asking us to put our integers in order from least to greatest. In most introduction types of situations with integers, they'll provide a number line. But I always tell my kids at one point we're going to get into decimals, fractions, and the numbers will get so large that you're not going to be able to use a number line. So what I suggest is that we're going to look at the negatives first, so we can always highlight our negative numbers, if any. All right, and the kids have to think in reverse, or you need to think which number would be located furthest from zero to the left. So in this case here, it's -6. So we can highlight that right here. We have -6. Then we have our -2, which would end up being right here. All right, then we have our -1. All right. And then at this point, hopefully the kids are okay with putting the rest of the numbers in order from smallest to largest. So we have +3 and +4, and this would be your final answer. Okay, now we're going to take a look at absolute values. So a good way to explain absolute values is the distance that a number has to travel to get back to zero. So in most cases, the rule of thumb, especially starting out, is that you'll never get a negative result, right? But then we have this situation here, which I'm going to talk about, okay, because that kind of breaks the rule. So a real life example would be, let's say that me and a friend of mine were meeting at the Empire State Building in New York City. One of us decides to walk 5 blocks north, another one decides to walk 5 blocks south. We're going in different directions, but the distance is the same, right? Same scenario when it comes to absolute value. So if we look at negative 45, yes, that is to the left of 0, 45 steps, but still has to travel the same distance to get back to 0, which is 45. 0 is going to be 0 no matter what. If you're at 0, you're at your meeting point. You're not traveling any distance. Right? 27, it's positive. Yes, in this case here, where with 45, we're going to the right to get back to the 0, and 27, we're going to the left to get back to 0. It's still a positive result. Now, with this one here that I have circled, what we want to do is work from the inside out. So imagine that we're going to cover this up here, this outside negative, right? So we have negative 18. Once again, we're going to go back to 0, which is going to give us positive steps. The absolute value is done now. But if I take that out, I still have to deal with this. So now I have a positive 18, which was dealing with these here. Then I have to drop this down, resulting in a negative 18, because it's on the outside of the absolute value sign. Okay, so that is a very, very basic introductory lesson to integers and absolute values. I definitely think it's key to get yourself familiarized with that vocab sheet that I gave you, with some terms that provide some real life examples of when integers and positive and negative numbers are used. Hopefully it'll help you out, especially with the financial literacy piece when we're talking about withdrawal and deposit. I know my kids have some major issues with that. Please look at my adding and subtracting lesson, which I'm going to do next, and then see how that applies. It's a major concept that kids have issues with, so it'll be crucial as a follow-up to this lesson. Please feel free to leave a comment. Like always, have a great day.